What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Tarian, and welcome back to another episode of Skin It or Skip It, the show where I tell you whether a skin is worth your hard-earned money and you should buy it, or whether you should keep your hard-earned money and use it to pay for the next luck skin instead. Skin It or Skip It is based upon the skin's visual effects, sound effects, how good it feels to use, and is it worth buying over the skins that the champion already has. On today's episode, we have the new additions to the ported over Star Guardian skins from Wild Rift, Elderwood Karthus, and Wukong, as well as Victorious Anivia. Before we begin, if you like this type of content, go hit that subscribe button down below so you can be updated when any of my new content comes out. Alright, cool. The Elderwood skin line is probably one of the most popular in terms of overall hype that they generate when they're announced, so it kind of pains me to see that this patch of skins feels like a bit thrown away in terms of hype for the skin line because it's badged with so many other skins. However, Elderwood Wukong definitely feels like a very nice skin to use. The light blue highlights combined with the cool mushroom and forest effects make the skin look visually appealing, and I love the little tree log of wood that's used for his clone disappearing. The ultimate is quite nice, even if I prefer Radiant Wukongs, and something that the skin does quite nicely is that it feels like the perfect amount of bulkiness for a Wukong skin. He doesn't feel too big like in Radiant Wukong, and he doesn't feel too small like in Lancer Stratus Wukong. He feels like he's just the perfect size for all of his abilities, all of the effects, and the sound effects line up so nicely. For all of those reasons, as well as just the very nice visual appeal of the skin, I mean, look at this splash art, I have to give it a solid 9 out of 10 and say that you should definitely skin it. Elderwood Karthus is good, but not as good as the Wukong skin. They share a very similar color palette, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel as good on Karthus as it does in Wukong, in my opinion. I love the direction that they went with the skin as this kind of forest lich theme that they have going on for him, but overall, it just doesn't feel like there's that nice moment for it. I was waiting for a while for any of the abilities on the skin to just pop out and be like, ooh, that's nice, but after going through all of them, I can easily say this skin is a classic case of, it's good, but not great. Especially compared to the other Karthus skins that I feel like do a better job, especially with this color palette. I can't really see myself buying this one. Overall, I'd rate it a solid 6 out of 10, as it's definitely got great effects to it, but I'd definitely skip it. Victorious Anivia is obviously a skin you don't actually buy. In fact, they've lowered the requirements this season for Victorious skins and made it so you don't even need to be in gold in order to get the skin, which pretty much means that everyone will get it as long as you play enough ranked. As a skin, it's honestly pretty okay. The yellow and pink tits on all of her abilities with these nice and new crystal aesthetics as opposed to her ice crystal aesthetic is a nice change of pace. The ribbons around her body and wrapped around her E distinguish her nicely from any of her other skins, and the sound design around the skin is actually really pretty. The thing I really love is how her W is always different, with different weapons, banners, wall formations, and other things that are littered around it in a different formation each time. Where the skin fails for me really comes down to the E not feeling noticeable enough and Anivia's base model already being kind of small, so all of the really nice elements that the skin is trying to go for aren't really able to shine as much as you'd want them due to that small model. Overall though, the skin is quite solid and it's free, so it's not a bad one to use, and I'd solidly rate it a 7 out of 10 and would definitely skin it if it wasn't already free. Star Guardian Orianna is one of those skins where it really does feel held back by the champion's base model. This is one of two skins that we're getting that was initially a part of Wild Rift, which meant that Orianna in that game had a much more up-to-date model with better base animations above all. The effects both visually and sound-wise for the abilities are amazing, and the ultimate that's so key to get right on Orianna skins was definitely done very well here, and I love it. However, the abilities are really the only place this skin shines for me, which I know is probably where most people want it to shine, but I can't overlook the fact that Orianna's base animations, where she's just so clearly a robot, really don't fit well on a skin where she's supposed to be a human girl. The robotic movement and the part of her idol where she shuts down just feels so weird to have on a skin like this, and it doesn't feel like Riot was really able to get everything they wanted for a skin like this due to Orianna's base animation. Based on just the abilities alone, the skin easily ranks at an 8 out of 10, but due to the base animations of Orianna feeling just too weird at times, I have to knock it off too, getting our final result as a 6 out of 10. There's better Orianna skins like Darkstar and the Bee skins, so I definitely get those, and for Star Guardian, just skip it. Firstly, for a Star Guardian skin, the nice magical girl haste animation when you're running out of base doesn't feel right with Seraphine, mostly due to how stagnant she looks while flying in this animation, which I'm sure isn't really helped by her stage just kind of floating under her and not really doing anything either. The effects for abilities and the sound effects, though, are probably some of the best that we have for a Seraphine skin, and are only really outshined by Ocean Song Seraphine, which is just one of the better recent skins in my opinion. Each ability definitely has a nice orange hue to it that makes it stand out, but I don't really feel like it stands out from being a Seraphine skin. Let me explain. Each skin for a champion needs to feel somewhat unique compared to other skins, because if we ended up with two skins that have too much of an overlap in their color scheme or execution, it just makes them feel too similar and like a waste of money if you buy both. In this case, I just don't think that Star Guardian Seraphine separates itself enough from the rest of her skins to the point where, with a solid 8 out of 10 for the overall parts of the skin, with the animations and visual effects and sound effects, I still have to say skip it. And with that, we're done with the new Elderwood, Star Guardian, and Victorious Anivia skins. Thank you all so much for watching, and tell me if you agree or disagree with me in the comments down below, and tell me which skins you plan on buying, if any. And while you're down there, go hit that subscribe button to be notified anytime any of my new content comes out. I will see you all next time. Bye bye!